Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we're back with the weekly Digital Street podcast. We're running a little late today. Like I said, I didn't even realize today was Father's Day. I had a house full of people, breakfast, no types of stuff. But listen, shout out to my man Porter Rock with his professionalism. He said the show must go on. See, nigga like me, late, champagne, tasting beer money. You know how I'm rocking. But what's going on with you, Porter Rock? You been on a vacation all this week, right?
Yeah. So earlier this week took vacation for the E3, and then yesterday, we kind of celebrated Father's Day early. Okay. We went to a theme park, the second largest in Europe, Europa Land. Place was bugged out. It was fun. It was really fun right there. It was a great theme park and stuff like that, you know. And today we're just chilling, relaxing. My daughter called me, wished me happy Father's Day. I'm trying to contact my dad, but motherfucker's acting like a teenager all over again. He's out in Orchard Beach right now. Listen to the salsa music and shit, man. You're 7 years old. Get your diabetic ass at home and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm having trouble reaching him and shit. But it is what it is, bro. Having a good time. My wife is cooking dinner. She's letting me relax today, and I'm thinking, bring out the Digital Streets Happy Father's Day edition and shit.
Happy Father. That's what we named it, Digital Street the Father's Day edition.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
And soon to be fathers, man.
Right.
Shit. Like I said, first of all, before we get started today's show, if you guys again be so kind to hit the like, but I'm gonna send you the link within the in our chat. P-Rock tweet it out.
Yeah, I'm tweeting it out right now through the share feature.
Here's another one. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Who we got in here so far? We got here thus far. Let me see. We got KZ. The Truth was going on. Who's next? Reunion King Stosha. D.I. Almighty. Levon Casing. Levon Casing, long chin ass nigga. Dear Days, what's going on? Who else we got? Chili Hog, what's up, baby? Being shout to everybody in the chat thus far. Like I said, you guys come in, you be some kind again to hit the like button, share it out on Twitter. And then they keep your boy in Twitter jail. Listen, today I'm getting in contact with Verizon. I'm going to change my IP address. I've been saying it for the last few days, but your brother's I'm the epitome goat mouthy bullshit dragging my feet, man. So, Porter out.
What's up? What's good?
The E3 has exactly been 1 week. Well, it started last Saturday. Was Sunday officially over. 1 week, right?
Yeah.
What did you take away from this show? You know what I mean? The good, the bad, the ugly. Your overall thoughts of the show?
Overall, as an E3, lots of content coming out. Lots of great games and stuff like that. Kind of disappointed. There was a few games that weren't there, like the Avengers project, which only tells me it's not ready. It's not coming. It's not coming out anytime soon.
Take forever.
Yeah, Square Enix. Yeah, man, that's some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? So nothing on the Avengers. Would have been nice to see something on Red Dead, but at least we know it's coming out this October, so no big deal. It is what it is. What else? Nothing on Final Fantasy VII, which is a shame. Which means it's another game. Oddly enough, it's a Square Enix.
Thank you.
Oddly enough. It's another Square Enix title that we know nothing about. What else was not talked about from big third party? Besides the negative, positive, a lot of good stuff. That Shadows Die Twice. That's cool. Devil May Cry is coming back. With DMC5, so that's dope. Battlefield is out there and stuff like that. So there's a lot of good titles. Cyberpunk. We finally see something. I know some people were disappointed at the fact that it's a first-person RPG. I have no issues with it because I enjoy Fallout and Elder Scrolls. And even though you could play those games in third person, I always choose the first-person option. So that's dope. Somebody mentioned Splinter Cell from Ubisoft. But Division 2 was announced. So, and I heard that it's going to have raids and shit like that. So that's cool. RE2 Remake was cool. Remedy's coming back, making a comeback. With another game. Hopefully they have better success with this one compared to the other. Like that. So a lot of great games. Just in the sense, not going into specific platforms or anything like that. Just in an initial sense of you needing content to play. I think E3 was great all around. Most of my negatives is when it starts dealing with specific platforms. Not so much as gaming in general, just when I look at specific platforms. That's when I think the negative for me in my view comes in. But just as far as gaming and you play wherever you want, if you own all platforms, I think it's great. I think E3 was great just in the sense of you pick up a controller, you pop in a game, whether you digitally download it or you buy a disc, and boom. So in the sense of that nature, just gamer, E3 was great.
Okay, how about this, right? E3 was great overall, right? If top 5 games, what top 3? 5v12. What thrilled you the most? That got your old ass, your juices flowing. You know what? I'm gonna take the money off the light bill. I'm gonna go here reserve. Like, what 3 games did they show in E3 that had you hit over the hills? Like, oh shit, blew your mind.
So I'm gonna exclude Spider-Man because I already saw major gameplay. I saw more than enough. I like what they shown, but I already seen great gameplay of it. So Spider-Man won't be in that conversation. So from what I seen, The Last of Us 2 was number 1. Because goddamn, that fucking showing was just straight raw. I mean, the chick fucking threw a bottle in the chick's face and stabbed the fuck. I mean, yo, everything in that shit. I mean, the shit was so good. Now you have conversations was whether it was even fake or not. So that shit was fantastic. So that right there blew my mind right there. That was my number 1 right off the bat. Totally enjoyed it. Number 2, out of everything they shown, fuck, what was close to wowing me? Neo 2. Neo 2 wowed me because I didn't expect that at all. I didn't think we were gonna get another Neo. You know, it's one of those titles that it was successful, but I didn't think they want to come back. And Neo was my 3rd most played game of 2017. I played the fuck out of that game. Okay. So I didn't see that at all. And then number 3 was I'm gonna have to say Shadows Die Twice. I really like that showing. I really like what From Software was doing. It reminded me kind of like the next step in Tenchu. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people saying that's the Tenchu successor, but it looked like the next step. So I'm really looking forward to that game. So those are my top 3. My top 3 was The Last of Us because the gameplay was phenomenal. Neo because I wasn't expecting that, and I fucking love that goddamn game. And then Tenchu. I mean, you know, Shadows Die Twice.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I did a video the day before yesterday. Shameless plug. My top 5 games.
You said 5?
Yeah, I said top 5.
Oh, so I got 2 more. So I got 2 more then.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay. Well, yeah. No. All right. Your one is you said is what?
Number one is The Last of Us 2.
All right. Number 2.
Neo.
Okay. Neo, I list different so far already. Number 2 is Neo. Number 3.
Shadows Die Twice.
Okay. What else? 4.
Number 4 from that. Number 4 from what I seen. Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay. Number 5.
Damn.
He said Fortnite, the Switch edition. You fuck.
Yeah, there you go. Fortnite. But my account's locked. Yeah. Number 5, fuck, that really wowed me. Man, I can't fucking. That I got wild. That really it. Man. Right, Death Stranding was alright, but it didn't wow me. You know.
Hey, listen, that ain't gonna lie, bro. That Death Stranding. My man Hellspawn said, "Oh shit!" I'm like, listen, man, listen. You just on time. The fuck shit about to start. I'm about to throw Puerto Rock guys up under the bus. You all right, so you got 4. The Last of Us 2, of course. Yeah. You had Neo 2, right?
Yeah.
You had Shadows Die Twice, 3. 4 you having what? Ghost of Tsushima, and 5. Come on.
5. Fuck. Shit. Damn, I don't fucking know. That wowed me. Can't really think of nothing. Everything else was just good, but not wowing.
So you ain't. What's up to everybody in the chat? Trickstar, Who's Next, Triple Chuck, Blackbeard, Hellspawn, Playboy, Paul G. Telling me to stop already. Nah, one stop. 87 Gamer. Chance.
Oh, remake. I'm sorry. I'm fucking retarded. RE remake.
Resident Evil 2 remix.
Yeah, that surprised the fuck out of me.
I'm getting Father's Day gifts as we speak.
I'm a dumbass.
Oh, I got some hot tamales.
Of course, Resident Evil 2 remake. Fuck, what the fuck was I thinking? Nah, that doesn't mean I'm not excited about the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm excited about Devil May Cry 5, Gears 5. I'm excited. Cuphead DLC. I mean, some people see that as a joke. I enjoy the game. I love the game, so I love Cuphead. I fucking love the game. So, you know, whatever comes. I hope it's just not another character and you repeat the game as a fucking female, you know, as a female Cup. I hope they put new levels and shit like that. I hope it's not just a character because, you know, I'm not gonna replay a game with a different character. Just that doesn't interest me. I hope it's actually, you know, more levels and stuff. But Cuphead in its own right, it's fucking just like Hellspawn just said right now. It's a fucking masterpiece. So yeah.
All right, here's our list. If me, number one, I had Ghost of Tsushima, Shadows Die Twice, Gears 5, Spider-Man, and The Last of Us 2.
Yeah, I left out Spider-Man only because we saw it already. There was already a big in-depth reveal, so Sony showed more of what I already seen in terms of gameplay. If there was no gameplay shown previous at all, then Spider-Man would have definitely been up there in the top 5. But I already saw gameplay, you know, so I'm only looking at things that were completely new in terms of gameplay and shit like that, or, you know, big announcements for E3. The hell is this motherfucker doing? Looking for his insulin shots? Man, this dude left me alone up in this. Oh, shit. Yo, welcome to the Digital Street Show Puerto Rican edition. My man opened the ER and shit like that. You fucking see, bro. Oh, snap. Oh, my man, he's crazy, bro. All right. So for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to get to pop my shit. And ain't a goddamn thing anyone's going to stop me. Yo, he's crazy. Yo, how you got subscribers?
I just got me a bottle of water. Here I come.
This motherfucker, man, you checking your blood sugar level. Stop lying.
Here I come, bro.
This motherfucker checking his blood sugar level right now. Oh, snap. Yo, yo, he's crazy. Yo.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Yo, motherfucker saying that you were pricking your fingers, checking your blood sugar level.
Putting on one of my Father's Day gifts.
Oh, shit. What they gave your ass for Father's Day? Geritol shit?
Hello?
Yo, motherfucker saying for Happy Father's Day, they gave you a lifetime supply of Geritol.
Yeah, for real.
Yo, and Depends underwear. Yo, what's going on here, man?
Yeah. Hey, no, I got my kids, you know, like this little colorful T-shirt. They got me some T-shirts and stuff.
Oh shit! All right, so what's up? What you were saying?
No, I was saying our list.
Yeah, so you said number one was Ghost.
Number one for me was Ghost.
Right.
But I don't have them in any chronological order.
Yeah, it's just 5 in general, right?
I put Ghost, Spider-Man. Well, Wild Me most at E3. Ghost, Spider-Man, Gears.
Yeah.
Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Well, here's the question, right? You've seen the guy from Tomb Raider, the dev, who questioned the validity of the gameplay from The Last of Us 2, saying it was fake.
Yeah.
Just looking at Last of Us 2 and going to from Uncharted 4 to Last of Us 2. That's what people's question was: it a mid-generation game, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4? That's a huge leap, bro.
Yeah.
And Uncharted was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like, you know, when I asked, like, is it actually, I'm not questioning it's in game, but was it actually gameplay? Like you said, the part of her running down the hill, grabs the bottle, throws the bottle, hit her in the face, spin around, she gets shot in the arrow, and just with the arrow. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is it, you know what I mean? Like, that's, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's a huge stretch from that in Uncharted 4.
Yeah. True. So the guy who made that statement, he retracted it and apologized. I don't know if it was because of blowback or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, I'll just say this. If anyone has the talent to take that next step, you know, especially we'll say excluding third party, you know, excluding, you know, Ubisoft, EA, among the 3 first party developers, Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. If anybody within those 3 groups have the studio with the talent to take it to the next level, it's Sony and Naughty Dog. Because I can't think of a better developer among those 3 that has the talent to go there. You know, so at the end of the day, if it's fake or not, we'll know when the game comes out. You know what I'm saying? The truth is told when the game's released. That's when we could call the bullshit, or we could say, yep, it's real, whatever. But as it stands, among those 3 big ones, Sony's the only one that has a studio to go there. Because I don't see anybody on Microsoft Studio right now that can match Naughty Dog, and I don't see anybody on Nintendo's platform that can match Naughty Dog in delivering what was shown on that, if you know what I mean. So if anyone can do it, it's going to be Naughty Dog.
My man here, that motherfucker said that you grab bottles in the same way in the first game. No. Just you understand. What I mean by grab the bottle. I mean, how should I say this, right? She, like, I don't know, say the button prompt, whatever. The way that she grabbed it, threw it, hit the woman in the face. Like, I didn't see nothing for her to aim to throw the bottle. Like, you know what I mean? I'd have probably missed that shit all across the board. You know what I mean? Hit her in the face. Like I'm saying, is that scripted? Which is cool. I'm not complaining. You know what I mean? She just threw that motherfucker and landed correct. Me, I'd have hit the wall behind her. You know me, my fucked up aim. I'd have hit the wall behind her and still got shot in my back, shot by her. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then again, when she grabbed her, when she done stun her, spun around, boom, the arrow's there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying again. I don't have a problem with being a cussing. I think I'm not one of those guys that nitpicks everything. You know what I mean? Oh, it's not. No, I don't care. It looks amazing. As long as it looks good in the game, I don't have a problem with QTEs, none of that shit. I just like, God damn, you know what I mean? That was, if that's really in game, that's some next generation shit right there.
Yeah, that's just. Oh, we got.
That's what I'm asking. Is that actually in game? My man, hold on, my man. I'm gonna pay the bills real quick. My man, Spectre Status said Tomb Raider dev apologized because the lead animator and Ledo saw it and called him out. Listen, again. Hey, Park, you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm coming across? Like, I understand they are very talented, you know what I mean? But that was like the goddamn, how you say, the striker all strike, ball all balls. She threw that motherfucker, boom, right in the face, you know what I mean? And then grabbed her, spun around, boom, arrow right there. When she runs inside the apartment store or whatever, convenience store, drugstore, whatever, slide in between, you know what I mean? It seemed kind of scripted, which is cool. I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? If that's all you controlling it and you have the option to go left, right, and whatever, you know what I mean, whatever the case may be, if that is actually real, God damn. You understand what I'm saying? This thing, you've been playing games since I've been playing games, right? And I'm not quite what's how you complete a mission. There's different ways to complete a mission. But you see how boom, I slide through, she slid through here, hop behind in, the foliage here, and then you know what I mean? That shit was just crazy. If that's real, my God.
I completely understand what you're saying. I'm just saying at a certain point, gaming has to push for that though. And somebody has to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Compare Gears of War when it pushed the gameplay of cover mechanics and how smooth it was, fucking the dude, jumping over the brick, chainsawing the dude, then he slides into cover, starts shooting over the shoulder, all this stuff. Shit like that wasn't happening before in gameplay. Somebody has to make a decision to go beyond just prettier graphics, textures, and particle effects. Animation, movement, that all plays a part in how we push the industry forward. It's not just better textures. It's not just, oh, I could see the pimple on this guy's ass cheek or whatever. You need to evolve that animation and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And Naughty Dog is great when it comes to animating, their characters and making them lifelike movements and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All of that is part of the thing, So again, whether it's fake or not, the final game will tell the tale. All I'm saying is, if there's anyone that could take that animation and all that stuff and push it to the next level, I'll put my money on Naughty Dog above anybody else within the first party group. Now, of course, third party, there's a lot of talented third party devs out there that just can do outstanding things in terms of animation. You know, Ubisoft got their studios, EA got their studios. There's a lot of talent out there that's fucking third party that can push the genre forward in terms of animation and shit like that. I've never seen like that before, though. Of course, but we never seen anything until it happens. Yeah, we never seen anything like Gears. I mean, some people could say, well, this game had cover mechanics, but it wasn't good. That's why Kill Switch wasn't popular, because it wasn't good. It wasn't something that whatever. But when Gears came out and showed the shit that we could do, that shit wasn't like the way it was presented, the animations, the gunplay. That shit wasn't done before, man. That shit was next fucking gen when Gears of War came out. You know, no one has ever seen anything until it actually comes out, and then everybody starts copying it. That's just the way it is. You know, that's what innovation is. Innovation is just seeing something new that's never done before, and then everybody adopts it. You know.
Hey, hold on 1 second for the record.
Yeah, and in this case,
I'm here. Hold on, I gotta unplug my headphones. My shit tangled up. I'm here though.
What's up? You know,
keep talking. I can hear you.
Yeah. So in this case, you know, if anyone's gonna go there with what we've seen with The Last of Us and shit like that, if anyone's gonna go there with what we could do and how we're gonna push gaming forward, you know, not just graphics, not just 4K textures, not just particle effects, but with animation, movement, you know, how our character intertwine and react with non-playable characters, you know, the stuff we've seen, you know. I have, you know, if anyone's going to do it, I don't see an issue with Naughty Dog being able to do that. They're one of the best developers in the industry, especially when it comes to animation stuff like that, you know. So someone's going to do it, you know what I'm saying? It just comes out to who's going to do it first, you know. The reality is that's just really what comes down to it. Someone's going to take gaming to that level and push it forward, you know. Okay. It's not just going to be 4K textures locked at 60. It's not just going to be that. Someone's going to take, you know, whatever they can and do it forward. Now, maybe the question is the PS4 powerful enough to do that? Sometimes it may not be, that's what I'm saying. And that could be, but sometimes it may not just be about raw power. It could just be good talent on how to use that power. And that's the thing. Talent goes a long motherfucking ways. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, all right, let me shoot up in the ring. I'm not questioning, can this team pull it off? Are they talented? That game that we saw running, I just find it very hard to believe that that's running on or could run on a 1.8T flop console.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah, stop me.
July 2016, right? When we saw the God of War intro. You said that was running on Pro because there was no way the game will ever even come close to that on the Slim. Because if it did, then what would be the point of coming out with the Pro? Then a year later, after the Pro release, you've been arguing, right? And let's be real, that you could barely tell the difference between the Pro and the Slim.
Can I ask you a question? At what day does it No, you gotta be honest.
Yo, listen, I don't have to say a day. You say that all the time.
Listen to me. I'm about to say
podcast after podcast. You said you own the Pro and you can't tell the difference.
Let me tell you something. I'm a man of very little morale from a very sketchy background. And depends on how the donations are going in the chat. Depends on how you got my motherfucking answer. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, this is not one specific day. I mean, you have multiple podcasts from multiplayer to BGST to BEASTFIRE. I could say this. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna say there's probably at least at a minimum 30 occasions where you say you can't tell the difference between a Pro and your regular Slim. At least 30 minimum. Not just one, 30. Because between BEASTFIRE, multiplayer podcast, BGST, between those three alone, you have consistently week to week said that you own the Pro and you can't really tell the difference.
All right, listen, I'm gonna answer your question again.
My man Ruhan's blessing you for Father's Day.
I thank you, Ruhan, but I just want to say this again for the record. It depends.
Come on, man, shout him out. I'll do it. $20. My man gave a $20 super chat. That shit's orange. He says, "Hey guys, happy Father's Day." To your question, Microsoft says that their hardware will never be underpowered again if 60 is targeted for next gen. Then how much more powerful than Microsoft be besides services? What do you think?
Okay, let me answer your question. Again. No, but I want to answer. I got you, Roham. I see you. It depends on how the super chat was rocking. You got that answer. Now, with that being said, again, I told you, I've said again on this channel numerous times that it was told to me that when it came to hardware, Microsoft will never be outgunned again. This is coming from, again, somebody that works in a. If you got three major publishers, you're gonna say Ubisoft, EA, and you're gonna say Rockstar. The say works in one of those three, right?
Okay.
Again, who makes his games on everything, right? Same person told me about the Scorpio, the PS4, Neo, and all that. The same guy. He said when it comes to power, now we're not talking about, again, because people get offended. I'm not talking about who has the better games, better looking games. I'm just talking about what's under the hood, right?
Yeah.
Because Sony developers are doing wonders with the Pro and the Standard, and the exclusives look better graphically than what's on the X right now. You know what I mean? So yeah. I said it to say this. This was what told to me, and it also goes back to a what do you call that goddamn show? SETI or whatever the hell. Bill Gates was being interviewed, and there was a woman in the crowd. I guess he said she had own stocks in Microsoft, or whatever the hell the case may be. And when it first came on, when the Microsoft bought Nokia or whatever the case, it was rumors about them spinning it off, and how the PlayStation, the Xbox is more powerful. I'm sorry, was less powerful than the PS4, but $100 cheaper. And Bill said something in the audience that said, we don't have to play second field to anybody when it comes to like in power or whatever the hell, we're Microsoft, right? But this was a few years ago. Yeah. Before I knew about the information that I got from a certain individual, right? And Phil even said that E3, he likes saying that he has the world's most powerful console. You know what I mean? But again, all that power, if they're not going, and again, I believe they have the studios and the talent right now to Rare's not the answer. But you listen, I said numerous times on numerous shows, Rare the answer. Am I right, Porter Rock? This is not me. This ain't me pinning how the super chat is for. I've never been a big fan of Rare. You know what I mean? I've never have. I'm not one of those guys that suffer from nostalgia. So going forward, from Sony also, he wants like my man D. He's in chip. We're already getting 4K in some games on the Pro or whatever the hell, whether it's dynamic or whatever. Next generation, because I think we already hitting what you call the roof when it comes to the ceiling, rather, when it comes to visuals. You know what I mean? Look at The Last of Us 2, you know what I mean? Or Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, or Gears of War 5. Gears of War 5 was beautiful, especially that one gameplay scene where she's going through with the hammer. Beautiful. Now it's going to come down to performance. They were supposed to be performance this generation. They were saying, well, gain 60 frames, try to get 60 frames. Because even you listen to Ubisoft and say, it's not these consoles GPU, it's their CPUs. Both the Xbox and the PlayStation 4 have very, very anemic CPUs. So going forward, I think everything is going to be 4K 60 or somewhere in between 60, but everything should be the minimum. It should be 60. You know what I mean? So
I can't co-sign that only because it doesn't matter how powerful the CPU GPU is. At the end of the day, the developer is going to choose if they could make a game 30. Here's the thing: when it comes to consoles, only a few games get tagged or decimated because it's not running 60. There's only a few games, like mostly shooters, first-person shooters. They're the biggest advocates that the game has to run on 60, or they get fucking demolished. But for the most part, most console gamers don't have an issue playing a game on 30. So the reality, and again, I'm not fighting. I don't want you to think I'm going K-Mega now, saying that 30 is better than 60. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just talking on the set of reality. Let's be realistic. Okay. If a developer publisher, right, can make a game playable at 4K 30, and it looks graphically better than what they can do at 4K 60, then they're gonna go with the 4K 30 option. You know what I'm saying? Because graphics sells. Graphics is just it. That's just the reality they're gonna go for. You understand? And of course, people could say, "Oh, the machines should have more power for a developer." To be able to run 4K 60. We don't know what these developers can or can't do. Because remember, this is also an art, and not all artists are good.
Okay,
that's just a reality we have to face. Some artists are better than others. They can do, what could be the most easiest hardware to make games for, they could totally fuck it up. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, I couldn't agree with you, but 90% of the games that release on console also come to PC in their 60 frames. Whether it's Assassin's Creed, whether it's whatever the hell. You know what I mean?
I agree, but other than the most powerful high-end machines, what do PC gamers do to get their 60 frames? They lower settings. They adjust settings to maximize the frame. Some run games at 100 frames. Doesn't mean it's for. Doesn't mean
GTX 1080. Yeah, you can run anything. You got a decent CPU. You can read about 4K 60. But I'm just saying, you know, they have that option.
Yeah.
So again, these games are what I'm saying. X86, everything's more or less goddamn. The console's just a PC in a closed environment.
I know.
So I'm just saying, and again, well, something that I was told. Like, I mean, I understand if you give developers more power, they're going to make bigger and prettier worlds and save 30 frames. But even looking at that, you know, look at it, the tail end part right now. Who would thought we would have the option in console generation this generation to have the options to run 60 frames or 30 and look better, or 60 and, you know, 1080 60 or 4K 30. They're giving us that option now. So
yeah, so that I understand that. If you want to call it, if people will say that next gen we're gonna get guaranteed options to run games at 60, but it's gonna be run at 1440p. All right, that I could agree with. But people saying that these games minimum are 4K, if that's your expectation,
let me tell you.
If people think 4K 60 is gonna be standard, y'all gonna be disappointed. You might as well just start bitching about the consoles now, because you're gonna get games that are 4K 30. You know, now
I'm not negating that at all, but I believe more often than not, next whether it's 2K 60 or racers automatic 4K 60, sports automatic 4K 60, fighters automatic 4K 60.
That I see. First person shooters, I could see that too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Again, but I'm like, even like I said, you take a game like Assassin's Creed.
Let's say like Witcher 4. You might get 4K 30,
like 1800p, 60,
maybe.
Whatever.
Yeah, you know, whatever. What I would like is, you know, to be a standard set is, you know, the options for performance mode. I would like to see that as the default option, that no matter what, you have a mode to choose 60 frames. You understand what I'm saying? That I think would be cool. Like if every game and every developer dedicates to be like, all right, we got, just in case they don't come out with a game at 4K 60, you got a performance mode at 1440p, all the bells and whistles at 60, because the 4K mode is 30.
Hold on, we got D back. Hey D, where you at D? Are you at the electronics store? Because D right now is all in your ass, but he's calling you all types of fuck niggas. I mean, I'm trying to keep D off your ass because you're ignorant to the facts right now.
Listen,
my damn this is not to bring D in this chat and slap the shit down.
This guy.
What the fuck is Porter Rock talking about? Fuck nigga, shaking my damn head. We already have 4K 30 now, and that's without the Ryzen chip. Okay, next year won't be 4K 32. Laughing my ass off. It will be 90% 4K 60. Look, D, I'm with you. This fucking nigga ain't listening. He always said about the CUDA or the motherfucking Ryzen. You don't know nothing about that shit, D. Hey, D, you want to hop in here right quick and punch this nigga down in his face? I'm tired of Porter rocking his shit.
You could talk. You could be tired of his wine, but last I checked, motherfucker failed to pay me $20 and gave me $1 code.
Let's stop bringing up old shit. Let bygones be bygones.
Fuck that. Y'all
bringing up old shit.
The problem with D is he's too much into tech, but he doesn't understand developer business side. That's his problem. That's his problem. That's his problem. He's way too hard into tech. He doesn't realize that a developer and publisher, can make a game better looking at 4K 30 than 4K 60. They're gonna go with 4K 30.
Listen, man,
all day they're gonna do it. Why? Because since when do console gamers ultimately, in the big picture, really bitch about 60 frames?
My God. You just keep going on and on. My man D.
Listen. I
sent you the link, bro. I want you.
I'm gonna be like this. D ain't gonna send D the link.
I sent the link.
Good. He's gonna do exactly what he did when I told y'all motherfuckers. Listen, D's gonna come up in here. Do exactly what he did when he fucking came in on his fucking soapbox. When I said Xbox Scorpio is not going to have Ryzen and Vega. He's going to do the same shit. He's going to come in. He's going to talk about stocks. He's going to talk about his degree in MIT. He's going to do all this shit. He's going to do all this red and raven. But at the end of the day, I'm a patient man.
Yeah, okay, listen.
I'm a sniper in the jungle. I just sit here, shit on myself, pee on myself, not eating for years. But when I get my shot, it's one shot, one kill.
Hey, bro, listen, like I said, man. This motherfucker, D gonna break your jaw, bro. I'm letting you know right now.
can do whatever fuck you want. I've been through this shit.
Yo,
this shit is old. I heard this shit already.
Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, you be so kind, hit the like button. If you ready to get his head knocked off,
I've been through this shit. I've been through the Vega, the Ryzen. I've been through CUDA cores. I heard Xbox One X was gonna be $400. I heard all this shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit is nothing new.
All right, but listen. But also, to in a Giant Bomb interview, Phil Spencer already said that games they were focusing on CPU and frame rate for next year. That's what I'm saying as far as them having a beefier CPU. Because let's be realistic. What I'm saying is already the X is at 6 T-flop, say T, right? 6. The Pro was at 4. So at a minimum, the next PlayStation will be at least 8 T-flop, between 8 to 10, and the same thing for the X. Yeah,
say that again?
I'm sorry, I had a fucking ant on me, bro. God damn, ants coming here like roaches. God damn. So I'm sorry. At a minimum, like I said, the Pro is already 4 T-flop, say 4, and we ran on everything. I know it's 4.2, but just don't count me out. And the Xbox was like 6.1. We're going to see 6 for that, right? So you already got 4. I'm sorry, and you got 6, right? So the successor to the X and the successor to the Pro, PlayStation 5, at a minimum, we're going to be in between 8 to 10 T-flops, right?
Yeah.
Right now, a GTX 1080 is about 10 T-flops or so. And again, we're talking about in a closed environment. So like I said, and they do have those Ryzen CPUs, which are really going to be really, really cheap in 2020. They're already cheap now. So that's why they said, it was focusing on performance, because getting the 4K won't be the big issue. Again, they just bring in the CPU up to snuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They already cheap. That's what I'm saying. They're already cheap now. So imagine what they're going to be in 2020 about these consoles to come out, and they're buying them in bulk. That's what I'm saying. Well, let me pay the bill for a question. My man, Ishan Rashad. They need to retract. Sucker Punch and Sony had both said Ghost of Tsushima was running on a PlayStation 4 Pro. I agree with you. Be a whole fuck nigga for that. And my man Jemai Dixon. Someone explained to me why Forza Horizon 4 can only run 60 frames at 1080p. Okay, Forza Horizon has always been a 30 frame per second game, open world. You know what I mean? But you can do 4K 30, but if you want 60, it's 1080p 60. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my brother, the Ruham said, all I'm saying is never dull a sniper. I'm just saying, look, I'm just saying, is he in here? Yo, he getting his shit together. Hold on, he gonna get the expensive mic. You gonna hear him out? He in here?
Yo, I'm in here.
Hey, Dave, listen. Now, before you break Porter Rock's jaw, I tried to warn him about the 6. He ain't want to listen to me. Could you please give him the motherfucking facts, please? You there? Hello. Porter Rock? I can't hear nobody. Was it my mic? Who mic? Hello. Can you guys hear me in the chat?
Sorry about that, man.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, there you go. I'm sorry.
Technical difficulties. Fucking Windows forcing their updates. Fuck you, man.
All right. Now listen, like I said, before you break his jaw, I try to give him the facts. He ain't want to listen to. So could you please explain to this fuck nigga what's going on?
Okay, first things first. Stop lying, Porter Rock. I damn well paid you that $20 and more. I gave you a few months of Xbox Live. I gave you a month of Game Pass, and I gave you a game. So shut up about that. Number one. Number two, we got 4K 30 frames per second damn right this generation, pretty much. Some games like on the PlayStation 4 Pro, we got 1800p 30 frames per second. You can't think that the next generation, especially with them having a Ryzen CPU, that they're going to keep games at 30 frames per second. That's just bogus. Number two, we had Phil in that Giant Bomb interview this week stating for the fact that this console generation is kind of hampered by the mismatch of the CPU and GPU. And that's something that they can do better on for next generation. So right there alone, that should tell you that they're looking at 60 frames per second. The one thing that has hampered this whole generation is 30 frames per second games. So you can't expect the majority of games next gen to be 30 frames per second too. No, 90% of the games next generation, are going to be 60
Dude,
frames per
I
second.
try to tell him this. I try to tell him. He won't listen to me.
You're going to have some games that are going to be 30 frames per second for the lazy developers or for the guys that just don't want to put the work in. But the majority of games are going to be 60 frames per second. Now, if some games can't achieve the 4K 60 frames per second, they're going to make it like 1800p 60 frames per second. But next gen is going to be 60 frames per second, especially with that new CPU, with a Ryzen CPU in it. It's going to be effortless for them to get the game 60 frames per second. And you're talking to shit, oh, only shooters and this and that. Listen, on the PC, it doesn't matter if it's a shooter, it doesn't matter if it's a sports game, it doesn't matter if it's an action game. They're all running at 60 frames per second. And the next generation of consoles is going to bring that. First of all, the tech is going to be really cheap. Next generation is like a year, 2 years away. We're going to get probably GTX 1080 Ti performance, but 2 years from now, that's going to be old performance, right? So 60 frames per second at 4K on a console is going to be easily achievable by then, and it's going to be really cheap to do it as well.
All right, let me know when I could go.
You can go.
Now, when I do go, are you gonna like give me only 10 seconds of talk time, and then you're gonna
you can talk as much as you want? It doesn't matter. This is a fact. You can talk whatever you want.
The motherfucking facts.
So I just want to know, when I start talking, are you just gonna flip in, cut in, or you just gonna?
What are you gonna do? You're gonna bring up my bad predictions? What are you gonna fucking do, bro?
I just
think that next generation is not gonna be 60 frames per second when they have a Ryzen CPU in it.
I'm letting you out. That's why I'm letting you all out. I just need to know when I start talking.
Say, bro, say what you speak as long as you need.
AD body this nigga.
But I'm asking, are you gonna interrupt?
Take all the time you need.
Hit the like button. D about to knock him smooth the fuck out.
Okay, simple. Here's the simple fact. I'm not arguing about technology. I'm arguing on decisions developers and publishers do. All right. Sure, they can make a game at 4K 60, but if they can make the game look much better graphically and fidelity by running at 30, that is the option they will choose. This is something that happened every single generation. I'm not talking about something that's out of the box. It's normal for publishers and developers to make the decision, yeah, this game is running at 60, but we can make it look much better at 30 frames and the gameplay is still good. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to release it. I'm not saying no game is going to run at 60 frames. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is we can't guarantee games to be at 60 frames simply because developers and publishers will choose the option to make the game graphically look better if the game is playable at 30 frames. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Porter Rock, when the next generation of consoles come out, PC is going to be up to 120 frames per second for their games. So it's going to be nothing for these developers to get these games at 4K 60 frames per second. The only reason why these developers are using 30 frames per second right now is because they don't have the power to do it. Now, if they have a better CPU, for instance, right now, all the games that are running right now, you throw the Ryzen CPU in there, all these games are running at 60 frames per second with no effort from the developer. What are you talking about?
He doesn't know, dude. He doesn't fucking know. He's ignorant to the facts.
Okay, so, all right, you know what I'm saying? Because just like anything else, I'm going to let you have this win. But understand this. When next gen comes and we don't get what your prediction, I don't want to hear that, oh, Porter Rock, you're talking about old shit. I don't want to hear that.
Bro.
Take your L.
Generation.
All right, fine.
Are capped at 30 frames per second. It is a well-known fact. So, it's due to the CPU. Now, the only way that these games will still stay at 30 frames per second is if they have a shit CPU still, which I highly doubt next generation will have.
Fine. So enjoy your W. Fine.
Hey, listen. Hey, Porter, I mean, AD.
I warn you, I have a long memory.
D, bro, that's how you body this thing. This is how you body.
Like I don't even know how you can really think.
Did I not just say enjoy this W and you're still arguing? Enjoy that you win. You got the W. You got the title. Enjoy it.
All right, good.
Hey, listen. We are the champions.
I got a long fucking memory.
And we
I got a long
till the end.
That's right. D is the champion. That's right, D. That's exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Time for losers, because we are the champions of the world.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. Here, look, listen. I'm gonna ask you a question. Like I said, again, while we're on the topic, well, I still got you here more times, man. First of all, happy Father's Day, D.
Thanks. Same to you, man. I don't know. You got kids, Porter Rock?
I think Porter Rock somewhere is crying. that nigga. So anyway, right, check it out, right? So what was your top 5 games at E3? Top 5.
It's funny you say that. I'm actually doing a video right now. It should be rendered
okay.
later on today. It's gonna be the top 10. It's like just the straight gameplay trailers. But my number. Oh, I gotta see my list now. Number 5, I'm pretty sure was Forza. I think number 4 was Ghost of Tsushima. I think number 3 was Cyberpunk. Number 2, I believe, was Gears of War. And number 1 was The Last of Us 2.
Okay, yours is 2. I got Spider-Man. I got Ghost of Tsushima. I got Last of Us 2. I got Shadows Never Die Twice, and I got Gears of War 5. That was my 5.
Yeah, I put Spider-Man at 6, and the only reason why I put Spider-Man at 6 is just because, you know what, we're gonna be playing this game in about a couple of months. So you know, I am hyped for it, but like I'm gonna see it soon. So
okay. All right, well, so okay, now I guess moving right along, was something that we talked about or discussed on D's channel. Sorry, not D's channel, on Porter Rock's channel about Sony, the whole Epic debacle, tie-in accounts to the PlayStation or to the what you call it, with Epic. I've seen even their stocks have taken a dip because of this, and it went from being, you know, something people talking about within the gaming community. Now the whole world's talking. I've seen it on 2 different news programs. My grandson's into Fortnite. Hope pay the bill right quick. The Ruham said, "Shout out to my brother. I hear both arguments. What if they decide to make big open world games, pushing that boundary? Do you get 4K 60 or 4K 30? D.
They would go 1800p 60. If they couldn't get the 4K 60, but I think 60 is going to be the mantle for next gen. They'll just lower the resolution because you know,
got resolution enough yet, right?
Yeah, 1800p from 2160p. Yeah, there's a difference, but that 60 frames per second would make a bigger difference in the gameplay and just the way the game looks. So I would think developers would choose that over 30 frames per second. 30 frames per second has been the way for console for such a long time. You would really think that they're going to break away from this next generation. That would be one of the selling points. And the tech is going to be very cheap.
So let me ask you this. So if the choice, I mean, obviously if they give performance mode, let's assume they don't give a performance mode. Just if they had a choice between 1860 or 4K, native 4K 30, you're telling me they're going to choose 1860.
Yeah, you know what? They might throw 30 frames per second mode in there, but they're gonna definitely have a 60 frames per second mode in all their games.
I'm talking about barring performance mode. Let's say there's no performance mode, just one mode, just one style of play.
I would think they would choose 1800p checkerboarded up and run 60. Yeah, I think they do that.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to get your take on this, D. We talked about this again on Porter Rock's show about the whole Epic Sony Tiny account to the console Fortnite crossplay thing. It's even just all over the news now. What are your thoughts about this?
I don't know. Sony is so anti-consumer. They're I don't know. It's like Microsoft has their panties in a bunch. Like, I don't understand. You're winning the generation. You know, you got the gamers' mind share. Why not show a little bit of goodwill to these gamers? That just shows you that Sony doesn't give a damn about the gamers. They just care about their bottom line, and they just don't want their players playing with Microsoft or any other console. Now, Nintendo has like the worst policies ever. And they're even open to doing that. So like, that just tells you where Sony's at. And like, not to get off track here, you know, there's a lot of companies are just greedy. Like another one is like Activision. Like Activision, they have a Black Ops 3 map that you can only get if you pre-order the new Black Ops. Like, what the hell are these companies doing? Like, show the gamers some goodwill. Some goodwill goes a long way because gamers remember that, and it's more favorable to you to have goodwill of gamers. I don't understand. Like, what's the problem? It's not on their servers. Has nothing to do with them. It's on Epic servers. You can take your. Why can't you take your character over? Why you trapping it there? Like, what's Sony's official response to this? Like their reason behind this?
They didn't give an official response directly to this.
No, they didn't.
What are even like the hardcore Sony guys? Are they against
some guys? Listen, I ain't gonna lie. There's some guys saying, well, you know, we don't, and it's not even bigger than crossplay. Me and Porter Rock was talking. What was that? What day was that, Porter Rock?
That was on Thursday.
Yeah, explain like what like because you more or less took what I was looking at. Because I don't play Fortnite, but this is bigger than me, and I'll always go for the consumer. But like, what do you explain? Because what's the guy? The guy name was Sick Humor.
Oh, Sick Humor. Yeah. He was advocating that. I can't even repeat the shit because it didn't make no sense. Something to the effect that if we don't criticize other companies for not doing the same type of feature, then why is Sony getting slack when we're letting everybody else get away with it? Like with EA Access, I guess, or Ubisoft, UbiPass, or other games, I guess, that has accounts, their own individual third-party accounts. Like, for example, I think he used Madden as an example, or maybe Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto. He used one of those games as an example to where the games are on multiple platforms, but whatever you do on one game, you can't take it anywhere else. It's only exclusive to that game on that platform. So let's say like, Call of Duty. Yeah, that was one example. So like if you buy both versions of Call of Duty, whatever you do on PlayStation, it's not going to cross over to Xbox, and whatever you do on Xbox is not going to cross over to PlayStation. They're two separate things, right? Even though you can have like a Call of Duty account or whatever. So he's so if nobody's bitching about. I'm not here to argue his point. His point doesn't make sense. I'm just saying why he said if we're not complaining about Activision, EA, or other people sharing their stuff between platforms or whatever, that's his argument. I don't know. I can't even play devil's advocate on that point. So I don't
like as a gamer, like forget brand loyalty and all this shit. As a gamer, it would be awesome to cross play against PlayStation guys to have the bragging rights to talk trash. Imagine all of the streams that you could see, all the type of competitions that could come up. Just for gamers in general, it'd be great. Like not everybody owns a PlayStation and an Xbox. I have some friends that just play on PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be nice to play against them on my Xbox, and say, yeah, look, see, my online's better, or look, see, my controller's better, you suck, or whatever, I don't understand why they're stopping this. This would be huge for gaming. I think this would move gaming forward.
Okay. Yeah. On my view, whatchamacallit, I don't have a problem with any of that stuff happening. I don't have a problem with PlayStation. Personally, if PlayStation cross plays with PC, with Xbox on these games, whatever, I don't have an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? Do I think Sony's kind of fucking up by not adopting this and bringing the gaming community closer? Yeah, I do think they're fucking up, by not taking advantage of this and making gaming more holistic as well. Okay, but at the same time, I also think it's fucked up that Microsoft is locking free to play. You understand me? I look at everything every brand is doing anti-consumer wise, and it's just fucked up. I'm not picking and choosing one or the other. It's all I
agree with you there. A free-to-play game should be free to play even if you don't have online. I agree with you there.
Yeah, so to me, it's all of it. I think the problem is, and this is both sides of the house, PlayStation fans, we'll say the fanboys. We'll just say that. Fanboys are picking on Microsoft's anti-consumer policies but ignoring their own. Microsoft fanboys are picking on Sony's anti-consumer policies but ignoring their own. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody, if you're going to be for the consumer, you have to rag on all platforms that are creating anti-consumer policies. This is the only way it's going to work. For example, if I hear PlayStation rag on Microsoft anti-consumer policies because, they lock free-to-play games, but they don't care about this, then your argument about Microsoft is null and void because you don't really care about being for the gamer. You only care about making Microsoft look bad. And vice versa, the same way. If Microsoft fanboys are ragging on Sony because of this, but then when we bring up, well, what about locking free-to-play behind the paywall, and they don't give a fuck, then your point is null and void. Everybody's point is null and void. It's like a black man complaining about racism because somebody called him the N-word, but he hears the white man calling Spanish people spick, and he doesn't say nothing. In fact, he partakes. Yeah, that ugly spick. Nah, then your whole N-word scenario falls flat on his face. You either attack racism on all this front, or we don't want to hear your bullshit.
My man put this shit on motherfucking Road Workers' Wait. Goddamn, P-Rock. Let me pay the bills right quick. Renz, my brother, good brother Renz, he a fuck nigga. He said, he said, oh wait, hold on. Wait, he left. He left. Damn, he balling today. Good looking, Renz. Vince said, I had a vision. Microsoft will win next generation. Then he dropped another 10, and so I guess someone was teasing him about that comment. Said he didn't waste $10, you fuck nigga. And one more, my
man just took opium today.
Ruben Berg said, why is 4K 60p? 4K and 60 frames not the industry standard?
because you can't have that as a standard.
Because I guess these consoles aren't strong enough to do it as of yet. But I'm just saying, going forward, like I said before, I just think we hit a ceiling when it comes to graphic. And again, like I said, if you got the way I look at it, I'm not saying it would happen. If the Pro is 4, the X is 6, so their next consoles will be at a minimum double of that, right? So that's what we'll see about
8 to 10 teraflops. These next.
Yes, I said so. Somewhere between a GTX 1080 or something, right? And again, going back to the Ryzen, if they go that way, that's already cheap. So imagine what they're going to pay for that in bulk in 2020.
Well, if we're gonna go by the recent leaks or I shouldn't say more, they're more rumors, but whatever, leaks, rumors, whatever. Recently, they're saying that this Navi is gonna be pretty much a GTX 1080 Ti performance. Now, NVIDIA, I believe end of July. I believe somewhere in July or August, they're going to be releasing the 11 series. I don't know if it's going to be called the 1180 or whatever. And that's rumored to be 4K 120 frames per second. Now, usually when these consoles come out, usually they're about, the mid-range PC, So, when this comes out in 2019, 2020, 4K 60 is going to be mid-range PC because PC this year is going to 4K 120 frames. So I don't see why people don't think it's inconceivable for the next generation console to have 4K 60 as a standard.
Yeah, these
Ryzen CPUs are fucking dirt cheap, man, and they're starting to outperform the Intels. Intel's starting to fucking shake in their booties.
Yeah, that's all. I'm not saying it will, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if it is or whatever. At least I think 60 will probably be, because like I said, the reason I also said that because most games, multi-platform especially, they're on PC and they have the option for 60 frames. Maybe they may not be native 4K, but I think in like 60 should be, Essence Gamers.
I think that'll be the only thing. I think if anything, we might lose some native 4K games if they can't achieve the 60, with all the bells and whistles. Do I think there'll be some 30 frames per second? Yeah, there will be some 30 frames per second games. I'm not gonna say there's not gonna be any, but I think they're gonna be few and far between. I think it's gonna be 90%, 60. And you're gonna have 30% that are just running at 30, because of course in the beginning we're gonna have some cross-gen titles, and not all of them are gonna be optimized the best, but I'm pretty sure that next generation they're gonna be targeting 60 frames per second, especially when you have Phil coming out and saying, specifically that the frame rate situation is bad this generation, and that's something that they look to improve on the next generation. You can't expect those games just to be sitting at 30 frames per second still. Especially with a better CPU. What would be the reason? They got a better CPU. The only thing holding back these games is the CPU. It's not even the GPU. The X is like what? It's not even close to 10 teraflops, and you're getting native 4K games at 30 frames per second, much less the next gen CPUs that are going to have like 10 teraflops with a Ryzen CPU. 4K 60 is going to be easy breezy, man.
But here's the thing, though. We got to also remember that I think next generation, we're going to still be dealing with a lot of cross-gen development. And developers are lazy fuck sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do expect the last generation consoles to hold shit. Listen, let me tell you something, right? And this is why I kind of disagree with you. You remember at the start of when the X came out or whatever the fuck the case, man, just say we're going to take Bluehole, for example. Bluehole said it already had Battlegrounds up to 40 frames or 45 frames and stuff like that within 2 weeks of having your hardware, right? So check this shit out. So right before the launch of the X, you had Xbox guys saying that's not fair. They're going to have 60 frames and we're going to have 30, and it's going to be at a disadvantage. And fucking Microsoft fucking coward, and you know what I mean? They said they didn't like, come on, there's just no reason in hell that the X should be running the same frame rate as a standard goddamn fucking what do you call it? As an Xbox One. Well, Sony's not. You take a game like H1Z1, whether you love it or hate it, it's like it's like 60 on the fucking Pro and like 40 on the fucking standard. You know what I mean? So I hope Microsoft put their big boy bridges on next generation or whatever the hell the case may be. You saying 2020, D?
I'm pretty sure the Xbox is going to come out 2020, because if you watch that Giant Bomb interview, the guy saying, oh yeah, it looks like people have their markers up 2020, it's going to be coming out, and Phil was like, oh shh, like kind of making a joke there. So I think 2020, is more likely. I think the PlayStation, I think we could see that in 2019 because Sony's kind of really quiet about it. And you know, my analysis of some of those trailers that they showed at E3, I don't care anybody says those things were running on a dev kit or projected PS5 hardware. They weren't running on the PS4. Do I think those games will come on the PS4? Of course they will. But that's my take on it. And I think the reason they didn't release any of the dates of these games is because they want to surprise people next year with, you know, the PS5 announcement. Oh, and by the way, Ghost of Tsushima is going to be a launch title or whatever they're going to say. And you know, and also too, I see that they're also reaching for a 2019 release date of Days Gone. And have you seen the gameplay like everything that I saw over E3? That game was really chuggy, man. It wasn't running that good. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe that might be a game that they can showcase the difference of the PS5 on or something. But I don't know. My gut tells me that the PS5 is going to be launched next year. Maybe Microsoft is preparing for this too, and they will launch it in 2019. But I still think Microsoft will probably launch in 2020. But PS5 2019. 70% chance that we'll see that.
All right. Last one before I let you the hell. I know it's Father's Day before I let you guys go. First of all, shout out to everybody in the chat that came by this Father's Day to rock out with us. I appreciate it. It means the world to me, man. Real talk. Last question, more or less, before we go. Microsoft acquired some, you know, and I think this was a big old shit for E3. They got Ninja Theory. They got the new studio, the incentive, the interactive, or the incentive, whatever that was called, Playground Games, which has already been confirmed that they're working on something, an open world type game. This is crazy, right? Now, I would hate to be the joke to say I told you so, but I'm just all I'm going to say. When I said, you know, no one goes to school to put themselves $100,000 in debt to make card games going around the track, and already Playground Games, again, their next game, it's going to be an open world game, but neither here nor there. What the hell do I know, right? We see the level of the, how should I say, what Naughty Dog is doing with The Last of Us 2, right? And again, I question, I know you weren't here for this conversation, and I'm not saying is it in-game footage or whatever, I don't know, but it's such a huge leap from Uncharted 4 to The Last of Us 2.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And my thing is, are you still saying that's PlayStation 5, powerful PC? What are you saying, D?
I don't care what they say. That's on a dev kit.
Everything's on a dev kit. It's not
that's not running on an actual PS4 Pro hardware. And you know, if you go by Naughty Dog, first of all, Naughty Dog I think is the #1 studio. Let's get that out the way. I own a PlayStation 4 pretty much because of Naughty Dog, to be honest with you. So I'm a big fan of them. So I don't want people to think that I'm fanboying them. I love their games. I get all of their games. I think they're the best studio in the business. However, every time they show a game at E3 before it comes out, the game gets downgraded, whether it's a slight downgrade or a major downgrade. Nonetheless, the final game, it'll look close. It'll be close to what we saw, but it's never exactly the same. And there's proof of this. You know, you guys can search the internet. There's proof of this. So, you know, I think what we're seeing is target PS5 stuff there, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion on it. I think it'll look fantastic on the PS4 and the PS4 Pro when it comes out. But I think what we saw at E3, I think those are the visuals that we would see on the PlayStation 5.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, to be fair, for everything we saw today, I mean, everything that we saw at E3 was running on a dev kit. Was the PS4 Pro dev kit? It was on a dev kit. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's not final code. It's not, they don't have a game with a disc. You know what I mean? And which, you know, if you don't think about dev kits are at least twice as powerful than the actual console itself. So they have, you know, room to scale it back. I'm just saying that was just a huge leap. And Uncharted 4 looks amazing. And I'm not, and I agree. Naughty Dog are the most talented. Yeah, I'm saying this. I think they, when it comes to making games, I think they are the most talented.
Yeah, there's none
but
better,
it's such a, that was, man, that's a, I still go back to that scene and her running down the hill, grabbing that bottle, throwing that bottle. You know what I mean? You have the aim icon, like the oval, like, you know, where it throws like a bomb or grenade right in the fucking face. Boom, spin around, arrow in the chest. My man, Ishan Rashay, thank you again. Ishan. we shot. D, why are you so down on PS5 and high on Xbox 2?
I'm not down on PS5. I think the PS5 is going to be amazing. I think both of these next generation consoles are going to be amazing. I'm excited for both of them, to be honest with you. I'm not down on the PS5.
Are you? You know what I mean? Do you? Think
I'm going to be getting both of them as usual. So I'm not down on it. I'm looking forward to it. Like I own a PlayStation. I wouldn't own a PlayStation if I didn't like the console. Now I don't like some of the company's practices, to be honest with you. But when it comes to games, man, they're delivering some exclusive gold. So I don't know where he got me being down on the PS5. I don't know where he got that from.
Not twice as well. They have twice the amount of RAM, and we're talking about so many power. Dev kits are more powerful than the actual consoles itself, brother. They have a more powerful
GPU. They have a more powerful CPU, and they usually have
a bigger CPU and have a lot more RAM.
Yeah.
You know,
that's just common. That's common knowledge.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Maybe not so much in actual GPU performance, but sometimes they are. But way more RAM and a bigger CPU. They need that again to correct all the errors in the game and to scale it back. You know what I mean. At the end of the day, like some people get some offended, but I don't think I listen to what this. We're not dissing the dev units. Like, you know what I mean. Every game which is on E3, whether it's from Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo, were running on dev kits. Like, you know what I mean, it's not final code. It's not a game when the disc is on stage. And you know what I mean? So I don't want people.
Well, that's the way it is at E3, unless it's like even sometimes when it's playable on the floor, they're using dev kits. It's just an E3 thing. Yeah. It's just the way it is.
I don't know why people get so offended by that. It is what it is.
Because they want to believe that that's running on a PS4 vanilla, and you know they can believe what they want, but the truth of the matter is that it's not. Now, I'm not saying that the final game is going to look like dog shit in comparison. It won't. It's going to look fantastic. We know what Naughty Dog is capable of doing, but you know, temper your expectations to think it's going to be like that. Let's go back to previous E3s when they showed what's the name? Uncharted. When they showed Uncharted and he was coming out the bushes and the lighting and everything. Oh my gosh, everyone was losing their fucking minds. When the game came out, it didn't look anything like that.
Oh yeah, well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Goddamn, if that game could get anywhere near close to, I'm just saying, that's a huge leap from fucking Uncharted 4. And Uncharted 4 looks amazing. So what we saw right there, and I can't wait to play it. I'm ecstatic. I'm seeing 2020. For that, or maybe we think it's 2019 for Uncharted.
I think we could see 2019 for the PS5. To be honest with you, I'll tell you why I thought it was targeting the PS5. Just little things like the physics in the physics, like the amount of foliage that they had, the density of the foliage, the quality, the materials of the foliage, like the leaves look like freaking leaves, the green and the light bouncing off and reflecting off of it, and the light going through it, and you know, just the way they move. Like some of that stuff is just not capable on the current hardware. Even Ghost of Tsushima at the end, the depth of field that they had and how detailed it was, and all those individual leaves as they were fighting, moving like that. That's like some really advanced physics there. That's just not possible on the current hardware. So for you guys to really not believe that, you know, it's on a dev kit, I don't know what to say to you guys. You know, the final game will look good. It'll look close, but I really believe in my heart of hearts that what we saw is PS5 target stuff.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanking you for swinging by the digital streets of, I believe it was the 4th episode of the digital streets. We're not going to, Puerto Rock, actually, he's going to go on somewhere in the Mountain Alps. So we might be back with this show maybe about 2 weeks or so. But either way, I have you something again for Sunday morning around 12 o'clock. You know, I'll whip something up for you guys if Pre-Rock's not back in town. But again, thank you all you guys that rocked out. For the Patreon subscribers and the people that sponsor the channel, I promise you I have a lot of content behind the scenes stuff that I'm going to upload right after this on the Patreon. If you sponsor the channel, reach out to me, email or whatever, so I can see the links. I got a bunch of things from the hot mics, funny shit.
Oh, this brother with his hot mic shit. Oh, damn.
Hey man, listen, you know, man, hot mic. Listen, right after the show, boop, hot mic. To be fair, I clean a lot of stuff up. I don't put anything up there, but I think the funniest hot mic when the all dead Kingmaker was arguing about who was the snitch. That shit was funny. Oh man, that shit was funny. That shit was wild. I'll give when that nigga die. They was talking about killing each other. Oh man, but anyway, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to all the gamers across the world, man. Next show we gotta say what Gamescom in about a month. I don't know if Sony's gonna be there. I don't know what the hell Microsoft's gonna do, but you got me now saying I can't wait to the Paris game show. I used to tease Sony about that shit. Last year they had an amazing Paris, game show. Yes. But we're gonna see. We'll catch you guys later on today, probably on BGST or something. We out of here. Bacon.